Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews progress of COVID-19 vaccination drive in the country. More than 32 crore lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far across the country. National COVID recovery rate stands at 96.72%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Prime Minister reviews development plan for Ayodhya. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for making India a leading maritime nation. India and Greece agree to enhance collaboration in trade and investment, science and technology, culture and academics. Greece joins International Solar Alliance. Today is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And in Eurocup football, Wales to take on Denmark in opening match of knockout stage tonight. As the nation gears up for free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held a meeting with top officials to review the progress of vaccination and the COVID situation in the country. Officials gave a detailed presentation to the Prime Minister. He was briefed about the age-wise vaccination coverage. He was also briefed about the vaccine coverage among healthcare workers, frontline workers and general population in various states. Officials apprised the Prime Minister about vaccine supply in the upcoming months and efforts being made to increase production. Mr. Modi was informed that 3.77 crore doses have been administered in the last 6 days, which is more than the entire population of countries like Malaysia, Saudi Arabia and Canada. It was also discussed that 128 districts in the country have vaccinated more than 50% of the 45-plus population and 16 districts have vaccinated more than 90% of the 45-plus population. The Prime Minister expressed satisfaction at the rising speed of vaccinations in this week and stressed that it is important to carry on this momentum forward. Officers briefed him that they are in touch with the state governments to explore and implement innovative methods to reach people for vaccination. Mr. Modi spoke about the need to involve NGOs and other organizations in such efforts. He directed officers to work with the states to ensure that the pace of testing does not go down, as testing remains a very important weapon to track and contain rising infections in any region. Officers also apprised the Prime Minister about the rising interest in the CoWIN platform globally. He said that efforts should be made to help all countries who have expressed interest with India's rich tech expertise in the form of the CoWIN platform. India has achieved a significant landmark by administering over 32 crore COVID vaccine doses so far, as the nationwide vaccination drive has picked up pace. With the availability of more vaccines, improvement in the vaccine supply chain and active support of states and union territories, the union government is continuously engaged in expanding the scope of the COVID vaccination drive.
The country continues to register significant decline in active caseloads and fresh cases of COVID-19. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry said more than 64,000 patients have recovered from COVID and over 48,000 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The active caseload presently comprises 1.97% of the cumulative positive cases and it is continuously declining. The country has registered a decline of over 17,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. The country is also witnessing a declining trend in the weekly and daily positivity rate. This is the 19th consecutive day when the country has reported a daily positivity rate below 5%. India's daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 44th consecutive day. A total of 64,818 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within 24 hours. The recovery rate has reached 96.72% in the country. Over 2.91 lakh patients have already recovered from this infectious disease so far. The Union Health Ministry has said a total of 1,183 deaths have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the toll to over 3,94,000 across the country. Around 50 cases of Delta Plus variant have been reported in the country so far. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has said that this variant has been observed in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Gujarat, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir and Karnataka. The Delta Plus variant AY1 is characterized by the K417N mutation in spike protein. The Health Ministry has said AY1's role in immune escape, disease severity or increased transmissibility is under continued surveillance. Meanwhile, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to the Chief Secretaries of Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana to step up containment and contact tracing to prevent the spread of Delta Plus variant. It has been asked to take up containment and preventive measures in affected districts on a priority basis. Earlier, a letter was written to the states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Kerala to take steps to contain the spread of Delta Plus variant.
In Madhya Pradesh, 8 persons have been found infected with the Delta Plus variant so far. State Medical Education Minister Vishwas Sarang informed that none of the contacts of these patients was found to be infected with this strain. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
State Medical Education Minister Vishwas Sarang informed that the patients infected with the Delta Plus variant are being tested as per protocol, and the National Centre for Disease Control has been regularly sharing information with the state in this regard. He informed that the authorities had carried out contact tracing of these patients and none of the contacts was found to be infected with this variant. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Maharashtra reported 9,812 new cases of COVID-19 today, taking the cumulative total to 60,26,847. According to the state's Public Health Department, 8,752 patients were discharged during the day, taking the total number of recoveries to 57,81,551. The recovery rate in the state stands at 95.93%. 179 people succumbed to the infection, taking the death toll to 1,20,881. The case fatality rate in the state is 2%. As of today, there are 1,21,251 active cases in the state. Maharashtra today achieved another milestone in COVID-19 vaccination as more than 7 lakh doses were administered in the state till 6 p.m. today. Additional Chief Secretary of Health Department Dr. Pradeep Vyas said a total of 7,02,432 COVID vaccine doses were administered till 6 p.m. today, which is the highest ever figure in a single day. He said a total of 3,09,79,469 doses have been administered in Maharashtra so far. On last Wednesday, the state had administered 6 lakh doses, setting a record for itself. Sikkim today extended the partial lockdown with further relaxations till 5 a.m. on the 5th of July. As per the new guidelines, inter-district movement of vehicles, including two-wheelers, has been allowed on odd-even basis. Restaurants can open till 10 p.m. with 50% capacity following COVID-19 protocol, and night curfew will be effective from 10:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. Our Gangtok correspondent has filed this report.
All of the guidelines issued earlier will be effective during this period. All vehicles, including private cars, taxis and two-wheelers, can ply with odd-even stipulation. All licensed standalone shops and e-commerce and home delivery services can operate till 5 p.m. Commercial establishments can operate with 50% staff. All gymnasiums, barber shops, spas, salons and parlours may also operate till 5 p.m. with 50% capacity. All state government offices have been allowed to function with 50% staff. Private construction with local labourers, MGNREGA, agricultural and horticultural activities have also been permitted. With Saikat Sarkar and Pankaj Dhungel, Parijat Sharma from Gangtok for AIR.
In Manipur, 651 people, including 7 personnel of the Central Armed Police Forces, have tested positive for COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. On the other hand, 15 people died due to COVID-19 infection in the last 24 hours, increasing the total fatality due to the pandemic to 1,108 in the state. Meanwhile, 534 infected people have recovered, taking the total number of recovered cases to 60,529. The total number of affected people so far is 67,317. The recovery rate is 89.91%. The number of active cases stands at 5,680. As per the latest information, the total number of persons vaccinated in Manipur is 5,23,899. In Nagaland, the Health and Family Welfare Department today said weekly COVID sample positivity rate in the state continues to remain high. The department said 3 districts of Dimapur, Kohima and Mokokchung have weekly sample positivity rate higher than 10%. Other districts reported weekly sample positivity rates ranging from 6 to 9%. Meanwhile, the state today reported 91 fresh cases of COVID-19, taking the tally to 24,850. 6 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. The total deaths related to COVID stands at 473. With 106 recoveries, the total recovery in the state has gone up to 22,178. The total number of active cases in the state is 1,487.
A total of 85 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital in the last 24 hours. Delhi government said during the same period 158 people recovered and 9 deaths were reported in the city. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is 1,598. More than 1,66,000 beneficiaries were inoculated for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours in Delhi. With this, over 71,29,000 beneficiaries have been vaccinated so far. Just as the first wave of coronavirus was coming to an end, the second wave hit the country hard. With no work at hand and no food to cook, the first wave made it difficult for poor people to get even one meal. The most affected were people who were living hand to mouth. Many organizations distributed food grains, but Smiles Foundation in Navi Mumbai provided cooked food packets to the people who could not afford kerosene or gas cylinders for cooking. The organization started distributing cooked food packets along with food grains to the needy. For the last 15 months, the organization continues to bring smiles on the faces of the needy people living not only in Navi Mumbai but also in Kalyan, Shirphata and other areas by providing a helping hand to them. Speaking to AIR News, founder-president of Smiles Foundation, Navi Mumbai, Ms. Uma Ahuja said that along with packets of prepared food, masks and sanitizers are also distributed to prevent the spread of corona infection.
We cannot heal the world today, but we can show love, compassion and empathy towards people. Our Smiles Foundation NGO has been able to help people during this pandemic. Every day for the last 15 months, we have been distributing essential items, food grains and cooked food packets to the needy. And so far, we have reached more than 1,45,000 people and still counting. We have brought smiles to countless people in our community. Earlier, people weren't less affected, but the COVID pandemic has affected more than any other disaster.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews progress of COVID-19 vaccination drive in the country. More than 32 crore COVID vaccine doses administered so far across the country. National COVID recovery rate stands at 96.72%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Prime Minister reviews development plan for Ayodhya. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for making India a leading maritime nation. India and Greece agree to enhance collaboration in trade and investment, science and technology, culture and academics Greece joins International Solar Alliance. Today is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And in Eurocup football, Wales to take on Denmark in opening match of knockout stage tonight. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the evening news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. tomorrow. It will be the 78th episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and also on AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR mobile app. It will be streamed live on the YouTube channels of AIR, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will be repeated at 8 in the evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today reviewed the development plan for Ayodhya. During the virtual meeting, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath presented a vision document for the development of Ayodhya. Government officials made a presentation which encompassed various aspects of Ayodhya's development. Ayodhya is being envisaged as a spiritual center, global tourism hub and a sustainable smart city. The Prime Minister described Ayodhya as a city that is etched in the cultural consciousness of every Indian. He said Ayodhya is both spiritual and sublime, and the human ethos of this city must be matched by futuristic infrastructure which is beneficial for everyone, including tourists and pilgrims. Mr. Modi stressed that the coming generations should feel the desire to visit Ayodhya at least once in their lifetime. The Prime Minister said the way Lord Ram had the ability to bring people together, the development works of Ayodhya should be guided by a spirit of healthy public participation, especially by the youth. During the meeting, the Prime Minister was informed about various upcoming and proposed infrastructure projects to improve connectivity with Ayodhya. An upcoming Greenfield Township was discussed, which includes lodging facilities for devotees, space for ashrams, mutts, hotels and bhavans of various states.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has emphasized the need for making India a leading maritime nation. Speaking at an interactive meeting with the officials of Visakhapatnam Port Trust today, he said that ancient India was a great maritime power and the past glory has to be regained. He stressed on the importance of role of ports in India's economy. The Vice President explained that India is strategically located on the world's shipping routes with a long coastline of about 7,517 kilometers and over 200 major and minor ports which play a key role in Indian economy. He said various projects under Sagarmala cater to unlock employment opportunities for port-led development. Mr. Naidu expressed the hope that ports will play an important role in post-COVID economic recovery. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on Prime Minister of Greece Kyriakos Mitsotakis and also held bilateral talks with his counterpart Nikos Dendias today. Both sides had a comprehensive exchange of views on further consolidating the bilateral relations, which continue to deepen and expand rapidly. They noted with satisfaction the ongoing cooperation in several areas. These areas include trade and investment, science and technology, culture, academics and people-to-people contact. India and Greece agreed to work together to further enhance collaboration in these areas. It was also agreed that the next round of Foreign Office consultations and Joint Trade Committee would be held soon. A report.
Both sides agreed to work towards the establishment of a strategic partnership. They also shared views on regional and global issues of mutual interest in the context of new geopolitical and geo-economic realities, including the Indo-Pacific. Both sides noted with satisfaction the convergence of each other's vision for a free, open, inclusive and cooperative Indo-Pacific, ensuring connectivity and growth for all in the region. The Greek Foreign Minister signed and handed over the agreement on the International Solar Alliance to the Indian side. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar welcomed Greece to the family of the ISA. Suparna Segya, AIR News, Delhi.
Dr. Jaishankar also unveiled the statue of Mahatma Gandhi in Athens. The statue will act as a strong symbol of friendship between the two countries. Today is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. On this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has lauded all those working at the grassroots levels to eliminate the menace of drugs from our society. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said that every such effort to save lives is vital. He said that drugs bring with it darkness, destruction and devastation.
Drugs तीन बातों को लाता है और मैं उसको कहूंगा एक बुराइयों वाला एक 3D है. मनोरंजन के 3D की मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. एक D है डार्कनेस, दूसरा D है डिस्ट्रक्शन और तीसरा D है डिवास्टेशन. नशा अंधेरी गली में ले जाता है, विनाश के मोड़ पे आकर खड़ा कर देता है और बर्बादी का मंजर इसके सिवाय आपके नसीब में कुछ नहीं होता है. इसलिए ये बहुत ही चिंता के विषय पर मैंने चर्चा की है.
Mr. Modi called upon everyone to reiterate their commitment to share facts on drugs and realize vision of a drugs-free India. He reminded everyone that addiction is neither cool nor a style statement. Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot today launched the website for the Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan on the occasion of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. The day is observed worldwide to strengthen action and cooperation in achieving the goal of a sustainable world free of substance abuse.
Bharatiya Janata Party MLA Bhavesh Kalita has been appointed as the new BJP chief of Assam. Ms. Sharda Devi will be the new president of BJP in Manipur. Party President JP Nadda has approved these appointments. President Ramnath Kovind will visit his birthplace Paronk in Kanpur Dehat district of Uttar Pradesh tomorrow and take part in various programs there. Mr. Kovind reached Kanpur in a special presidential train on a 5-day visit of the state yesterday. During his tour, the president will also go to state capital Lucknow. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
This is the first time that the President will visit his birthplace after taking over his present assignment. In Paronk village, President will visit the temple of local deity Pathri Devi, Ambedkar Milan Kendra and the community center in village, which was earlier his ancestral home and was later converted into the community center. There will be a function to felicitate President in Paronk village. He will later go to Pokhraya in Kanpur Dehat district and will attend a function scheduled there. On Monday, the President will board the special train at Kanpur Central Railway Station to reach Lucknow for his 2-day visit to the state capital. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Kanpur Dehat.
Chief of the Indian Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria, arrived in Dhaka today on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. He was received by Assistant Chief of Air Staff Operations Bangladesh, Air Vice Marshal M. Abul Bashar on his arrival in Dhaka. High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh Vikram Doraiswamy was also present to welcome the Air Force Chief on his arrival. The Air Force Chief is scheduled to pay courtesy calls on senior officers of the Bangladesh Armed Forces. The visit of the Air Force Chief in the Golden Jubilee year of the Liberation War will further strengthen the close and fraternal ties existing between the armed forces of the two countries, it added.
With 26 days to go for the beginning of the Tokyo Olympics, All India Radio brings a special series on India's medal prospects at the sporting extravaganza. Today we will talk about India's hope in the women's hockey.
The Indian women's hockey team is presently in the final leg of training for the Tokyo Olympics in Bengaluru. This time the Indian women hockey team is a big contender for the medal. Team India has given many excellent results in the last 4 years, including winning the silver medal in the Asia Cup in 2017 and the 2018 Asian Games. Super striker Rani Rampal is the captain of the team, while defenders Deep Grace Eka and goalkeeper Savita Punia are the vice captains. In an exclusive interview with AI News, Rani spoke about her role as captain.
एक एडिशनल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है बिकॉज जब आप कंट्री को लीड कर रहे हो और आप सिर्फ 16 प्लेयर्स को लीड नहीं कर रहे, आप 1.3 बिलियन लोगों की कंट्री है उसको रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो.
Rani shares about team preparation for the Olympics.
जैसे 30 डेज हैं ओलंपिक्स के लिए और बहुत ही कम समय बचा है. ऑलमोस्ट 5 ईयर से हम लोग इसके लिए ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं और हर एक एथलीट का यह ड्रीम होता है कि वो कंट्री को ओलंपिक्स में रिप्रेजेंट करे एंड अच्छा परफॉर्म करे, मेडल जीते.
Deep share her feelings when announced vice captain.
मैं रेस्पेक्ट करती हूँ जैसे कि रानी दीदी कैप्टन है और हमारे सविता दीदी बहुत अच्छा लीड करते हैं, तो जैसे मुझे भी चांस मिला है तो मैं इनसे सीखूंगी कि कैसे एक टीम को लीड करते हैं, तो मुझे काफी प्राउड फील हुआ अपने आप को.
In her message to our listeners, vice captain Savita Punia urged our listeners to support the team.
एज ए गोलकीपर मेरा भी यही रोल है कि मैं जितना अपना बेस्ट दे सकती हूँ, मुझे ओलंपिक्स में टीम के लिए देना है और अपना गेम खेलना है.
The entire country comes together in wishing that makes a giant leap to the top of the podium at the Tokyo Olympics. Siddharth Singh, Sports Desk.
Hockey India today announced the nomination of Indian men's hockey team goalkeeper P.R. Shrijesh and former Indian women's hockey team player Deepika for the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. For the Dhyan Chand Award for Lifetime Achievement, Hockey India has recommended former Indian stalwarts R.P. Singh and Chingshubham Sangai Ebim Hall. Coaches B.J. Karyappa and C.R. Kumar have been nominated for the Dronacharya Award. The period of consideration for the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award is between 1st January 2017 to 31st December 2020. In the Eurocup football, Wales and Denmark go head-to-head in the opening match of Euro 2020 round of 16 tie in Amsterdam today. A total of 16 teams have progressed to the pre-quarterfinal stage or round 16. The teams are Wales, Denmark, Italy, Austria, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Belgium, Portugal, Croatia, Spain, France, Switzerland, England, Germany, Sweden and Ukraine.
The union government has termed the document as fake, which is doing rounds on the social media, claiming that dearness allowance and dearness relief for central government employees and pensioners will be resumed from July 2021. Press Information Bureau in a tweet said this claim is fake and no such announcement has been made by the Government of India. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi and Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Chennai is expected to have a thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will vary between 28 and 37 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar will experience partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh is expected to have a partly cloudy sky. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad, the sky will be partly cloudy. Minimum temperature will be 17, maximum around 29 degrees. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews progress of COVID-19 vaccination drive in the country. More than 32 crore COVID vaccine doses administered so far across the country. National COVID recovery rate stands at 96.72%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Prime Minister reviews development plan for Ayodhya. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for making India a leading maritime nation. India and Greece agree to enhance collaboration in trade and investment, science and technology, culture and academics. Greece joins International Solar Alliance. Today is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, and in Eurocup football, Wales to take on Denmark in opening match of knockout stage tonight. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and on News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.